Talk a minute about because you also explore faith, and that's an interesting area around Jefferson, in which a lot of us think we know something and or understand things that I think you bring a sort of new subtlety to some of that discussion. But he's a very complicated thinker about faith and religion, and not simply the atheist the sort of good-hearted atheist that some have wanted to see him as.
Mm-hmm. Well, this grows out of the Enlightenment as well, in science and rationality. And there's the belief that you are only supposed to believe or in things that are provable or scientific. And the notion of taking out miracles and the notion of taking out all of the stories of Jesus' resurrection, all of those kinds of things, the divinity of Christ, he thinks is a step forward. He sees that as progress. And portraying Jesus as a modern, as a good philosopher, the greatest moral teacher who ever lived, that's one thing. Jesus as the Son of God who performed miracles, no, that's not scientific.
The supernatural is out, but the wisdom
is there. The supernatural is out. But he wasn't an atheist.
No, and that's a common misperception. We have to look for, with Jefferson and people of his generation, and many of his fellow founders were what we now call deists, but Jefferson's deism was inflected very much in the Christian tradition and comes out of the Christian tradition. Nature's God is in the Declaration, and he comes out of a tradition of religious thinking among moderate Anglicans and others. In natural religion is the term that was used. And the big problem with miracles and all what he would literally call the nonsense of Christian teachings is that it privileges the interpreters and the teachers, because they are the custodians of mystery. And if you're the custodian of mystery, then you have authority, because people need you. You are the necessary intermediary between the ordinary person and God. In effect, you are making yourself God-like figures in a hierarchy. He's opposed to hierarchy. All men are created equal. That would be an unmediated relationship with your creator. Mm-hmm. That's the creator who's created this magnificent world that is the real mystery that we need to understand through the aid of our God-given gifts to unravel the mysteries, to
reason and to come to your own judgments. And so that's the real emphasis on individual conscience, and not giving anybody else the power to make decisions for you. He thought that children should not be introduced to religion too soon. People should get to the point where they were able to make the judgment about what they wanted to believe. It's all a matter of individual conscience. Now, he keeps a lot of this secret, certainly. Wisely keep a lot of secret, because he understood that people would not, people were frightened when in the election of 1800, as you're saying, people, talked about burying their Bibles, right? Bury your Bibles, because he's going to come and take them away. And that was not true at all. He had no interest in doing that. But he saw religious figures, that kind of authority that you're talking about, working with kings, the church and the monarchy, the priestcraft, the monarchies and priestcraft working together to sort of keep people down. And people could believe, he said, whether people believe in one God or many gods, it didn't pick his pocket and breaks his leg. You could do that and exist in a republican society, but a society that has promoted free thought.